So we're going to start out this factoring lesson by doing some multiplication of two binomials, something that we've done before. So I have x minus 2 times x minus 3, and I multiply each one of term in this binomial by each term in this binomial. So I'm going to have x times x, I'm going to have x times minus 3, I'm going to have minus 2 times x, and the minus 2 times the minus 3. X times x gives me x squared. X times minus 3 gives me minus 3x. Minus 2 times x gives me minus 2x. And minus 2 times minus 3 gives me plus 6. Now I add like terms. The only two like terms are the two middle terms, which is a minus 3x minus a 2x, which gives me a minus 5x. The x squared and the plus 6 stay the same. Okay, now we're going to do just the opposite of that. We're going to do what's called factoring. And factoring is basically taking this trinomial that I just created here, and I'm going to factor it, and it's going to look like what I just started off with here. Sometimes I want to go in the direction I just went and multiply. Other times, for other purposes, I want to be able to pull it out into its factors. So notice how the first terms in here, the x times the x, give me the x squared. So when I factor a trinomial that looks like this, x squared minus 5x plus 6, I'm going to factor it into two binomials. And in order to get this x squared term here, the first term has to be an x and another x. So I'm going to multiply an x times an x. And now I need two terms. If you notice here, I got this plus 6. Well, that came from multiplying the minus 2 times a minus 3. So in order to get that 6, I have a 2 and I have a 3. Now how do I know that it's minus? Well, it actually is because this one's negative, and when if this was positive, and let's say if I had written this and I wrote the positive here, when I went to FOIL it, I would get x squared plus 3x plus 2x plus 6. And the plus 3x and the plus 2x would give me a plus 5x, which is not what I'm looking for. So I'm going to erase that plus. And then I'm going to put in the minus. Now, when I multiply them out, I'm going to get x times x is x squared minus 3x minus 2x plus 6. This, as we already did up here, this comes out to x squared minus 5x plus 6. All right, so now I'm going to try one that I haven't actually seen the factors from the beginning here. So I'm going to factor x squared minus 6x plus 8. I'm going to put the two binomials down here. Again, what multiplies to get x squared? X times x. What multiplies to get 8? Could be 2 and 4. Could be 8 and 1. Let's say I'm gonna start off looking at 8 and 1. Now the fact that this is a minus and this is a plus means that a positive either is a positive times a positive or a negative times a negative. But because this middle term is negative, these are going to have to be negative just for the same reason why we had up here. So when I multiply this, I get x times x is x squared, minus 8 times x is minus 8x, minus 1 times x is minus 1x, minus 1 times minus 8 is plus 8. So it looks good so far, x squared and the plus 8, which is what I was looking for. And then, but minus 8x minus 1x is going to give me minus 9x. That doesn't work. So the 1 and the 8 are bad choices here. But what do? I could just try another one. All right, and I could erase it, but I don't even have to do that. I know x, and again, I need two numbers that multiply to get 8. I'm going to try 4 and 2 this time. All right, and again, I'm going to make them both minus because it's either a minus times a minus is a positive, and since that's negative, they're going to have to be negative as well. So now let's see if this works. X times x is x squared. Minus x times minus 2 is minus 2x. Minus 4 times x is minus 4x. And minus 4 times minus 2 is plus 8. Let's see if this works out now. Now I add the like terms. The minus 2x and the minus 4x gives me minus 6x. And now I have what I started off with. So this is what it looks like when it's factored. And it says check by multiplying my answer is actually that is what I did right up here. I checked that by multiplying the answers here. So now see if you can factor some of these. Again, don't forget to write down your binomial, your two binomials being multiplied, and then figure out what can put into these. Actually, this one, to just give you a quick hint, this one looks a lot like this first one, except it's a plus 6x. So it's going to be very similar. Actually, let's go ahead and finish this one, then I'll have you do the other ones here. Again, this is x times x. We'll do this one together. To multiply by 8, again, 4 and 2 are going to add to get 6, which is what I'm looking for. 4 and 2 and multiply to get 8. And I'm going to do a plus 4 and a plus 2 because, again, it's positive. It's either a negative times a negative or a positive times a positive. But because this one's positive, that's going to work out. And then I check. X times x is x squared plus 2x plus 4x plus 8, which gives me x squared plus 6x plus 8, which is what I was looking for. All right, now go ahead and finish this page on your own, and then we'll check them when you go to watch the next video.